Sure. Good afternoon. The July 13th City of Panama City Planning Board meeting is now in order. We currently do not have a quorum. We're waiting for confirmation that we have an additional attendee en route. So we'll stand by for about 15 minutes. Just want to let everybody online to know that. to schedule another meeting or prior to next month. Applicant number 1, request A, Stephanie Marshall. Is Stephanie here? Could you come to the microphone real quick? Just state your name and address.
My address or the job address?
Just your address, just for the record.
My name's Tim Clark. My address is 1705 Massachusetts Avenue. The job site is 1919 Tyndall Drive.
Okay. We're contemplating, we don't know if we can schedule an intermediate meeting prior to next scheduled meeting, August 11th. But I kind of want to get your feedback on, is this something that's time of the essence if we tabled it to August, or?
It is for her. She's got a pregnant daughter-in-law, 80-something-year-old mom living with her, and she had an aneurysm last year. So getting in and out of the car, like today in the storming rain, is an issue for their family. So, yeah, she is pretty biting at the bits to get this done.
Got you. Okay, thank you. Sure. Are you, Jeff Triggers?
Good afternoon, Jeff Triggers. Permanent address is 1100 Mid Springs Road, Newmarket, Alabama. The subject property is 222 Elm Avenue, Panama City.
So the question is, we could potentially schedule another meeting for possibly next Monday, but we don't know again if we have a quorum because 2 of our members are out of town. One's at a homeless security meeting. Is this something that you prefer to table till August? I know it sounds like you probably came from out of town, or would you be back next week?
Respectfully, none of those options are appealing to me, sir.
Sure. So I apologize. We can't. We usually have 5 members. Summertime we sometimes are down 1. We don't usually ever get to this point where we don't have a quorum. I can't remember in 10 years of being on the board. So. There is a Zoom option as well. So if we were to move this to next week, you wouldn't necessarily have to be in attendance. You could.
That could be a trade.
Okay.
I was under the impression that we had to be physically in person, sir.
Sure. No, we can waive that in the circumstance.
Okay.
So, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then the rezoning request.
Hello, good afternoon. Mike Dijon, 1023 East 15th Street, former owner of the property.
Okay. So the question is, we can either table any agenda item to our next regular scheduled meeting to the 11th of August, or we can attempt to call a special meeting. We just don't know if we have a quorum based, have 2 of the people are currently traveling.
Right.
Sorry? August 10th, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess the question would be,
This gentleman?
and you can also
Yes,
tune
it
by
would be
Zoom,
August
would your
15th.
preference be to try to have
We
a
have.
interim meeting next week, Monday, or what?
Yeah, I would say, his particular case has to go to the city commission, and it's already scheduled for the August
Correct.
11th city commission meeting.
Okay.
And so in your particular instance, it's not as, you've got to wait to go to the city commission anyway, so we would potentially we would move you to the next regularly planned, planning board meeting, and then the very next day you would be at the city commission
For the first reading?
for the first reading of your ordinance.
Okay.
Which is, for you, unlike everybody else, that's what's gonna happen anyway. You're gonna have to wait to know until to
Right.
that day.
Okay.
So I think in your instance, it really doesn't
Effect-
affect you one way or the other, honestly.
Gotcha.
You're just gonna have to come back here another time on the 10th,
10th of
Okay.
August.
August 10th. So,
Okay.
so yeah, it doesn't delay you.
Right. So just to be clear, there's a vote on it on August 10th. Is that how that would
So
move forward?
what'll happen is you'll come to the planning board, you'll present like you were gonna do today, and then they'll make a recommendation, and then we'll go to the city commission, which will be on the 11th, the very next day. So August 10, you'd be here. August 11, you'd be at the Government Center over on 11th Street in front of the city commission for the first reading of the ordinance. And then the 25th would be the time they actually vote on yours. So you made an extra trip today is kind of what it comes down to.
Got it.
Okay.
No problem.
All right.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you. The other 2 items are variances, which this board has the final say other than appeals on.
Yeah, so I would say for this gentleman, I think if you agreed to put his on the August 10 planning board meeting at 4 o'clock in this room, then we don't need to renotice this completely and
Okay.
and do all that stuff, okay?
And then, are you available?
So that'll be the direction of the,
Well, especially for probably Zoom meeting.
Okay.
I don't have my phone with me, but I don't think I have anything to do
Okay.
next,
okay.
Let me, just real quick before we schedule, at least confirm Sterling.
Okay, can be here on
Yes.
on Monday? Okay.
and all we're gonna take up is 2 barriers.
You'll do those on Monday, I
Monday.
think, and then we'll do that gentleman's, the zoning will just do it on the next regularly scheduled planning board meeting, because it doesn't affect his scheduling or timing.
Just a minute to answer.
Okay.
I can text Aaron too. So.
Well, we gotta notify them anyway if we're gonna do a Zoom, right? So we just schedule a Zoom meeting,
Yeah, we'll just, we'll
just schedule a Zoom meeting for next Monday. Schedule a meeting, whether it be Zoom or meeting here, it's fine, but you go ahead and schedule it.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
All right. We're to reschedule this meeting to next Monday, July 20th at 4 p.m. If for some reason we don't see a quorum for that meeting, staff will notify you guys well in advance of that date. Zoom option will be available.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
So the city commission has their virtual meeting on Mondays.
At 4 o'clock?
Just certain meetings, but there is one next Monday at 4:30.
Yeah.
So we can't do 4 or we can't do it at all?
Can't
You
do
could do
4,
it, you could do 3.
yeah. You could do it earlier.
That work for you? That's better for me.
Yeah, I think I can do it today.
Okay.
Actually, we only got these
So I
2
stand corrected. We'll do 3 o'clock,
See the variances.
same place right here, next Monday. If there's an issue with that, staff will contact you guys ahead of time.
Okay.
Is there any questions?
You said July.
July 20th, 3 p.m. right here.
In this room. For the first 2 items that were on the agenda.
That's for the barriers.
The 2 variances.
Yes.
The other one will be tabled too.
So
What
that
was-
is,
What was the item that you were here for, ma'am?
August 10th, okay.
so case number CPC PLN 2026-1278. That's Stephanie Marshall's. And then item CPC PLN 2026-1478, Mr. Driggers, that's yours. Both of those will be in this room next Monday, the 20th, at 3 p.m. Okay? And then, and we will be able to allow Mr. Driggers to appear by Zoom if he,
Virtually, yes.
is that right? If we do it at 3 o'clock, Don? Yeah, okay.
We can send you a Zoom link.
Right, do that, okay. Was, just as an item of curiosity, were there folks here that were here to speak on these items tonight? In opposition to them or anything on that? On the rezoning? Okay, so you understand that that is going to be moved until the August meeting, okay? Was there anybody else that was here to speak in opposition to anything that was here tonight, or for it, for that matter? I mean, everybody else was here on this. Okay, all right, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We are
Sorry.
adjourned.